Greetings viewers and welcome to a whole new episode of the OER Live Leaders Speak. Today we are in conversation with engineer Ammar Al Kharusi, the Development Director of the Yiti Tourism Development Company LLC. He's here to talk about the very exciting Yiti Integrated Tourism Project. Let's learn more about it. So Engineer Ammar, welcome to OER Live Leaders Speak.
Thank you very much. Pleasure to be here.
The Yiti Integrated Tourism Project is quite groundbreaking for Oman. Can you tell us of the scale of the project?
Sure. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. The Yiti Integrated Tourism Development is obviously located in the Yiti and Yankit area in Muscat. It spans over 11 square kilometers or 11 million square meters of raw land area. And we have successfully completed and obtained the approvals on the final master plan that covers the entire scope of land, detailing the phasing and the land uses in such a way that will allow us to activate the next phases of development.
All right. So there are 4 phases, if I'm not mistaken. Can you talk us through the 4 phases of development?
Sure. The phasing have been an integral part of the master planning to ensure that we grow the development organically, starting from the most accessible and the most viable development areas, moving from the beachfront development all the way to the mountainous and hilltop areas, phasing it in such a way that will meet the market supply and demand and will create lucrative investment opportunities for sub-developers and investors.
The name Yiti has been synonymous with tourism among communities. But why did you choose Yiti as the place for the master plan for the Yiti Tourism Complex?
Simply said, because it's a breathtaking location. That part of Muscat combines the very unique aspects of hilltop, mountains, beaches, and wadis that you won't find anywhere else. Not going to be so ambitious in, say, Oman, but at least across Muscat. That area of Muscat is very unique, and definitely we need to take full advantage and exploit the full potential of those locations by introducing well-planned developments that will both emphasize the tourism aspects as well as the development aspect of the area. And that's why the reason we have chosen Yiti and Yankit area for this development.
A lot of people are looking at Oman as an investment opportunities, and a lot of laws have changed of late. How is Yiti going to be lucrative for investors?
We are playing the role of the master developer. So we, beside the fact that are putting a very, I would say, forward-thinking master plan, we are also investing in activating the development by investing in the infrastructure and activating the first phase of development. And later on, we will have those investment packages or investment opportunities, packaged and offered to investors to make sure that they step into a master plan development with the necessary demand-generating assets surrounding them and into a completely serviced land, making the investment to them less riskier and more beneficial.
So what can regional investors look into when they're looking at Yiti Integrated Tourism?
They can be looking at a well-master plan development that will provide lucrative investment returns, and we are firm believers in tapping into the regional I would say knowledge of development that does exist, and we would like to extend an open invitation to all developers/investors in the region to consider Oman as their priority in terms of investment and development. We are creating this to become a global platform for all investors and developers to be part of it.
So can you tell me about the ITC projects that we are looking at?
Sure. So Yiti obviously is licensed as an integrated tourism complex. And what's great about an integrated tourism complex, it gives you the flexibility in planning and master planning. And that's what we have taken a full advantage of by creating, in my opinion, or personal opinion, a very beautiful public realm combined with a very, I would say, modern design of the actual assets. But most importantly, as an integrated tourism complex, it gives you the flexibility of owning a freehold property in Oman, being a non-GCC resident. And that will help us tap into a market that usually is not being tapped into by a regular real estate development in Oman. And most importantly, the combination of the location and the master plan and the investment opportunities available, this will become even interesting to individual investors who are looking to invest in a property in Oman or to even relocate permanently into Oman and own their own assets.
In many ways, you are also looking to aid the Oman Vision 2040. Can you walk us through that?
Without a doubt, the development is fully aligned with the Vision 2040. Matter of fact, all of the state-owned enterprises operating under OIA are aligned fully with the Oman Vision 2040. So we have looked at all the pillars, from the job creation, the economic empowerment, the healthcare, the education, the knowledge, digital transformation, as well as the empowerment of foreign direct investment and the free flow of capital into the country have been taken into account while master planning and putting the strategy for Yiti.
Of course, I'm going to elaborate on Omanization plans. Can you elaborate a bit more on it?
Omanization plans?
Yes.
I mean, you can look at us as a master developer. We are almost 85 to 90% Omanized as an organization. And we believe that everyone who's going to be operating within the ecosystem of Yiti, Omanization is going to be their priority, because we, by default, are giving priority to Omani-based companies, whether through the entire ecosystem, from design and engineering services to construction to supply and operation.
All right, now just moving into the training aspect, because a lot of Omanis are aspiring to become visionaries for the future and for the growth of the country. Can you walk us through the training processes and how you are also aiding the knowledge-based economy that falls under the Oman Vision 2040?
As part of our fundamental DNA, we believe on the three aspects of knowledge: and knowledge acquisition, knowledge retention, and knowledge sharing. And knowledge sharing happens by us exporting this knowledge externally, or opening the door for opportunities for students and graduates to join us as interns. We have been doing that aggressively ever since the establishment and the inception of the development, and we shall continue doing it. And we are positively influencing our service providers to also adopt a similar philosophy. So all of our design firms and contracting and supplying firms will be also undertaking interns as part of their contracts with us.
So SMEs are going to be a very key part of the Yiti project. And can you tell us about some of the criteria that will be fulfilled when you're looking at SMEs to be contracting with you?
Absolutely. We will be having different sizes of package that will be floated to the markets. By default, again, part of our DNA, we're giving priority to the local community contractors. Basically, the priority goes to within Yiti area, and then we are expanding slowly to Muscat, and then obviously covering entire of Oman. And we can assess whether any certain works can be undertaken by SMEs and not. And honestly, in terms of evaluation criteria, it has to do with the capabilities of that SME. We have already awarded some significant amount of works to actually local SMEs in terms of enabling works within the site. And we are working with very talented SMEs on the marketing and the branding and the media production part of it. And we shall continue doing that.
Now, Madinat Al Irfan was in many ways a baby to OMRAN. Can you tell us how Yiti will shape the face of OMRAN in the coming years?
We strongly believe within OMRAN Group that your next development should be your best development. So there is a lot of lessons learned and great experiences and great knowledge that has been acquired throughout the development of Madinat Al Irfan, and we are hoping to take everything that we have learned and implement and enhance upon moving forward. And the development after Yiti is going to do the same, and that's how we're going to progress, grow, and prosper, inshallah.
Perfect. Now, Development Director, it's a very serious role. Can you tell the youth of Oman what it takes to be in the role that you are in, and how they can hone themselves to possibly become people who would change the face of Oman in the coming years?
Never be afraid to ask the right questions. There are no wrong questions. Always be ambitious in your plans, and always start from a humble beginning and have a very clear career path that you want to grow towards. Development is nothing but the combination between engineering sense, project management, as well as financial and investment analysis. It's a very interesting field, and it is the future of Oman. If you want to look at this sector as a great contributor towards the GDP of Oman, then we really need to develop it by becoming developers ourselves.
Wonderful. Engineer Ammar, it was an absolute pleasure talking to you, and we look forward to having you in one of our leader speaks again in the future.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure being here.